All right. Hey, everybody. Happy day number 4. Obviously, Nancy, you can say hi just so they can see you as well.
Hello, hello.
So, we're in two different rooms. Nancy's in her office, and obviously, I'm in mine. Um, reason being, Nancy's going to be popping off about halfway through. We have a couple groups that we meet with in some of our coaching programs today, so she'll be popping off at about 1:30. So you guys will be together for the first 30 minutes together, and then I'll be closing out the final 30 minutes with you guys from 1:30 to 2. We do have obviously still tomorrow to still go through, which we're going to do a little bit of training, but also some Q&A. So we are going to send out later this afternoon, and we'll also post it in the Facebook group, a Q&A form where you guys can pre-submit some questions to us, where, again, anyone that wants to ask specific questions about anything that we did go over this week, you can use that time to do so. So we'll be doing a little bit of training, and then we'll be doing some Q&A as well. So if everybody is clear on that, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Also, if you're on here live, please do say hi and where you are tuning in from. Again, we love seeing where people are coming in from. But also a quick congratulations. We've already had about 6 or 7 people jump into Expert Foundations already, even though we just opened the doors yesterday afternoon. So we're just very, very thrilled to see that. And again, you guys have until Sunday to sign up. And just remember that there are a couple different options for people that do want to sign up. There is a paid in full option, which gets you about a 20% discount. And then there is a financing option where you can do it in 6 monthly payments instead. And for those that did sign up yesterday, Nancy did want to let all of you know that she will be sending out that bonus Trello board. So we did, we keep our promises. So if you did sign up yesterday, you're going to get that bonus Trello board. But also just remember, anyone that does sign up by Sunday, you also qualify for some, great bonuses. And the biggest bonus is the fact that anyone that completes the program, and again, that's why we're meeting with everyone on a group Zoom once a month to go over what you should be focusing on. Anyone that gets the completion status of this program in the 6 months, you get an extra 6 months for free. So there is a big incentive to complete the program. And I'm just going to drop in the chat again, anyone that does want to get in, but also don't forget, you get a one-on-one call with us. And the most valuable commodity that someone can give is your own time. So for anyone that does complete it in the 6 months, not only do you get an additional 6 months for free access, but you also get a one-on-one strategy call with myself and Nancy to go over your business and any help that you need, and obviously any tools that we can give you. So again, the link is in there. The doors are only open until Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So do make sure that you dive in. And again, everyone, I know everyone's at a different place. There is a specific reason. Nance, just talk really quickly, because people have asked this, why now? Like, why open the doors now to Expert Foundations, in November? Because there is a theory behind why it's important to get your business organized and foundationally in place now.
Yeah. So, full transparency, I think it's interesting, right? Because, a couple other big courses and programs that have foundational type content, a lot of them launch like in the new year or like in February or, during those times. Well, I honestly think, aside from obviously spending time with friends and family, we still have weeks right in the month of December and in the months of November that we can really get things done. And they're great project months. And I also, wanted to release it because how good would that feel going into the new year, right? Having certain things in place and knowing that you've got, a strategy to generate leads, that you've got your website built out the way that you want different things done. And the other thing that I wanted to do is, we shortened, the time that people actually have this program because in reality, you can complete this whole thing in 48 hours. That's like how, like, I just really want to paint that picture. My mission was how can I get this thing built so that it is so plug and play that you guys can get this into your business. You can get the foundations built out quickly. And I married it all with the tools, the resources, and made it plug and play in that way. So, yes, it's spread out across 6 months, but you guys can hit the ground running. And we didn't lock any of the courses. In fact, the original time that we launched this, we got feedback that people are like, blow the doors open. I want to keep going. If I want to binge this and complete it, let us have access. So instead of dripping the content out over the months, you guys have free reign to keep going. And as you keep going, you earn experience points, which can be used to earn prizes. You can also continue to keep going and skip through things if you already have done it. You can mark it off and move along. And so that's the benefit and the beauty of this program. The other thing that we have added, again, every time we open the doors, I know that we make this better and better and better. But one thing that I wanted to show, and it's actually available in the Facebook group now as well, and we'll be sending this out to all new members. But we've got a checklist, right, of all the things that we're going to be covering in obviously Expert Foundations. So I wanted to show you guys, not to overwhelm you, right? It looks like a lot, but each of these little trainings are literally like 5 minutes each. Okay. So we go through some of the basics around clarity. We talk about your offers, different ways to make money online, product service delivery. We jump into client experience, your onboarding documents. So much is in there. And the neat thing is this isn't just for brand new people who are starting out. In fact, I am going to go back through it, and revamp a couple things for my agency as well. I know that I want to update some of my onboarding documents. I want to tweak as far as our audience and our niche and everything like that. What better of a program to go through, than my own? And I can't tell you how often I still use some of the resources that are in there, which again, you guys have access to, and you get to print it out and you get to keep it, such as the hiring guide and like what to, hire someone for. And it even has the whole process included in there. So lots of really, really good stuff.
Yep.
But again, want to make sure that's very clear that it can take a very short period of time to complete this, or you can again assign maybe a few hours a week to really dedicating, some time to this. But the moral of the story is every single thing that's included in this program is meant to help you build and grow your business. So the ROI on getting through it and getting to the end and really mapping everything out can be astronomical. So.
Well, a couple things. If you can block out, type a Y or a yes if you can feel you can block out 20 minutes a day to do something for your business. I mean, again, it's one of those things where if you can block out 20 minutes a day, you can go through this program. The other thing that I want to hear from you guys, type a Y or a yes if you feel that. Just type a Y or yes if you feel that your business should be making more money than it is right now with the time that you're putting into it. Now, here's the thing. If your business is not producing the income that you feel it should be producing, there is most likely one thing going on, and it's what's causing it. And it's because there's a crack in your foundation. And I think anyone that knows about the foundation of a house, if there's a crack in the foundation, guess what can happen? It could collapse. So the fact of the matter is, number one, we can't get upset at ourselves if our business looks the same exact way 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, if we're not willing to face the cracks in our foundation and fix them. And one of the big reasons why we created this foundational program is no matter whether you are new to business, whether you have been existing in business, whether you're starting something from scratch, whether you're looking to go back to the drawing board and redo some things, everybody needs the foundational things in place. But the big point that Nancy and I really want to make clear to all of you is that every single one of you could be making the money that you want to make in your business if, like Nancy said yesterday, if everything was checked off as a yes on that sheet that we gave you guys, that business assessment. And everybody had some things checked no. So just think about if you actually got all of those no's turned into yeses, but you didn't have to go looking different places for it and spending money in 17 different places. You had it all in one spot. Just imagine how much your business can change in 6 short months. That is the honest to God truth. And the fact is that we know that anyone that goes through this foundational course and completes it, we know your business is ready for success. I mean, it's 100% guaranteed. If you have all of the things in place, you are ready to skyrocket. Now, if the foundations are still cracked, if you're still not putting those things in place, again, you can't get upset at yourself. You can't beat yourself up because you know that the foundations of your business are still cracked. But here's the big thing, and I'm going to turn it to Nancy so we can get into this training. If you are sick and tired, if you're sick and tired of not making the money that you want to make in your business, if you're sick and tired of knowing that you're leaving money on the table, if you're sick and tired of going from one training to the other training to this program to that program, if you're really sick and tired, then you're going to do something different. And whether it's foundations or whether it's something else, you're going to have to do something different. So again, we want to see every single one of you crush it in your business, but you can't do it alone. If you, just like we talked about the other day, if you're going to continue to patchwork quilt this thing, you can't expect things to change for the better. And we want you to change things for the better. We want all the foundations in place so you can grow and scale and earn as much as you want. But again, don't get upset with yourself 6 months or a year from now if you haven't jumped into this program and your business is in the same place. You can't be surprised because you can't expect something to change if you're not willing to change something that you're doing. So if everybody is clear on that, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. And this, again, that is why we only open the doors to this now 1 time a year. That's it. This is the last time we are opening it until November of 2024. So again, think about it. Do you want to be in the same place this time next year? Or do you want to be in a different place? Nance, take it away.
Sorry, I'm just sending a link real quick. All right. So yeah, so we're going to dive into today's training, which is one of my favorites, because we're really going to be digging into, what your dream business looks like. Okay. So just give me a minute here. I'm going to pull up the slides. All right. So as usual, if you guys can just give me a Y or a yes, if you guys can see my screen, just so I know that I am showing up. All good to go. All right, excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so today is all about mapping out your dream business. And, obviously, I really want to kind of pull back. And, the last couple of days, we've been really kind of diving into the micro of your business, right? We're looking at like all the individual things you should be doing each day. But today, we're really kind of taking a step back, and we're looking at the overall big picture. Okay. And this is one of my favorite things to train because I feel like a lot of people forget that there are different stages when it comes to growing your business and to building the business that you want. Okay. And there are always, right, usually 3. Okay. So the stages of entrepreneurship are the startup stage, the growth stage, and the scale stage. Okay. So no matter where you're at in business, you're in one of those. Now, the startup stage, some of the most common things within the startup stage are that it's super exciting, right? We're all inspired and we're like, we're starting something new and this is passion project and all that great stuff. But the thing is it can be extremely challenging as well, because when you are first starting a business, there's a huge learning curve. Okay. And usually you're the sole owner and operator of the business, and you're responsible for all aspects of the operation. So you are the one who's in charge of really getting the wheels on the bus. So your big focus during this time is getting the business launched, but also building that foundation and establishing the basics in your business, right? To make sure that everything is moving smoothly. I think a lot of us, when we come up with our business ideas, we don't think about, oh, well, how am I going to actually deliver this? When someone signs up, what is that onboarding process going to look like? How can I make it memorable? And I promise you that so many people are missing on these things.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
I've worked with
just
people,
type,
we've worked with
yeah,
people.
just really quickly, Nancy, just type a me in the chat if you are in that startup stage of business, just so we can see, where you guys are. Okay, so we have a few people that are in the starting stages. Okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah. So, these all things, right, we know to be true. Now, there are some big hurdles. Okay. And one of the biggest hurdles during this startup stage is the learning curve, right? You might have a great idea or a product, but you might not know how to bring it to market. You might not know the basics of what setting up a business looks like. For example, we worked with an amazing person who was actually in the process of building a nonprofit and had these amazing ideas. And the one thing that they didn't have was just plain a foundational business plan. Okay, so we need to reel it in. And again, know that you guys don't have to know everything. And that full transparency, right? This is a very tough stage because you're kind of all over the place. And sometimes you can lack that clarity and confidence because you're not really sure, right? Those things that need to be done in business. This is normal. Okay. I call it like you're at the bottom of the mountain, and you're climbing up. It's very vulnerable, right? And it's okay. And I just want to share this with you guys. It's okay not to know everything. But here's the thing is that's not the only hurdle, right? Another challenge that a lot of people face, and I'm sure, we've all faced this, I face it still, is shiny object syndrome, right? This is the tendency to get distracted by new and exciting opportunities, which leads to a lack of focus and a lack of progress. Okay. And yeah, Christina said, I feel seen with that. I am talking directly to you guys. If you feel like, ooh, there's a new tech program or software. Ooh, I want to do this one and I'm switching over here. Oh, that's a great idea for a business. Oh, I could collaborate with this person. If you continue to do that, right, which I know a ton of people do this, okay, and this is that startup stage. If you continue to go down this path, it is going to be a really, really tough road. Okay. And whenever I say really, really tough road, it's almost like you have a car and you don't even put your key in the ignition. You're just sitting in there kind of going, ooh, ooh, ooh. And the key never makes it in the car and the wheels never start turning. Okay. Some of you might feel that spinny tire feeling, meaning I'm spinning my tires and I'm doing a lot of stuff, but I'm not getting anywhere. Okay. This is normal. Okay. This is part of the startup stage. So this is me telling you, we have got to really, really, really step into what we call, and in fact, I love it. There was a personal branding expert, I cannot remember his name, but he talks a lot about the need to step into the valley of focus. Okay. So I want all of you to step into the valley of focus. Okay. Get very clear on the business that you want to grow and you want to build. Okay. Because even if you're out of this startup stage and you've already sold some products, let's get back into that focus. Okay. That valley of focus. Now, the other thing that I want to share, right, some basics of this stage. Revenue is often $0 to $1,000 a month, right? And the revenue streams might include coaching services or affiliate marketing. And again, we're kind of honing in on service-based businesses here. You may need to experiment with different revenue models to find out what works best for your business. Okay. Again, completely normal. We're kind of testing some things out. To overcome these challenges, you must be willing to learn and adapt quickly. Okay. This might involve seeking out programs, mentors, networking with other entrepreneurs in the industry. It can also be important to stay focused on the business's core mission and avoid getting distracted by new opportunities. Okay. And just to plant that seed, right? Because later on, we're going to talk about actually mapping out your one page business plan, which is this dream business I'm talking about, so that you can get clear on this. Okay. So again, whether you're in the startup stage or you're a different stage, that might look a little different. Now, you must be comfortable at this point wearing all the different hats. Okay. I know, again, a lot of people are like, I just want to outsource everything or whatever. I
No.
cannot stress this enough. This is probably one of those like popular opinion type things. I cannot say it enough how important it is. Okay. This is probably the best business advice that was given to me when I had my first business mentor. Okay. I got it through the Small Business Administration. I met with a multi-million-dollar business owner, and he said, Nancy, as you're starting your new business, which was a local house cleaning business, okay, it was a service-based house cleaning business. He said, Nancy, you have got to get your hands dirty. You've got to get into that business, and you've got to do all the things. And I'm like, really? Like everything? And he goes, yes. And he said, why? Because it is going to set you up for so much success in the future. You're going to be able to manage your team better. You're going to be able to jump in when things get tough. You're going to be able to know all the ins and outs of all the little things that need to be done to run this business. I am so thankful I was given that information. And I
Well,
leaned into that, like uncomfortable. Go ahead.
the example that I like to give people, it's like when, my background was in personal training and sports nutrition. I couldn't put certain people through certain workouts if I didn't go through that workout myself. I wasn't just going to look up a workout, put a routine together and say, hey, do this. I had to test it out. I had to go through it. I had to feel what it was like. I had to look at the movements. The same thing goes when you're building your business. So many people will say, oh no, like Nancy said, outsource. No, what people ask Nancy and I all the time, scaling a 7-figure business and all the stuff that we've done. One of the biggest benefits, and I would say assets to how we've been able to do that, is we know how to do a lot more than most people that are running a business, because we were willing to get our hands dirty. We were willing to do the things that a lot of people wouldn't have done in the beginning. And that's why you become such a wonderful, and I would say thought-provoking business owner, because you can speak to a lot of the things that a lot of other business owners can't, because they didn't do the do. And that's when you guys get your hands dirty and you actually start, getting into the guts of what it actually takes to grow a business. You become an unbelievable business owner. That's it's such an important thing.
Yep, absolutely. So again, I'm not going to like go crazy with this, but knowing the basics and knowing some of these behind the scene things, again, that's also what is in foundations. It's to shorten that learning curve, right? You don't have to go out and go, oh, what are all the things that I should be doing? Here you go, right? There's 3 core functions of every business, and here are the basics. Okay. So as your business grows, eventually, right? Of course, we want you to delegate some of those things. And that's why even in the foundations program, it leads into hiring a team, right? So I know how many of us have actually hired a VA. For some people we've been through it, but some people we haven't. Some people we've done it and we've had a terrible experience with it. But I've really built out a nice little structure and system for you guys. So the startup stage milestones are that you launch your business, you form your foundations, and you stay focused. Okay. Some simple little milestones that you can put on there: grow your email list, right, to 500 to 1,000 subscribers, get consistent subscribers daily, create what we call a tripwire or a tiny offer, to start collecting some clients. That's kind of what the basics look like. So if you're not doing that currently and consistently, right, that's okay. Let's fill in some of those gaps, right? That's the whole goal, is that we identify those things. Now, let's look at the growth stage, because I also want to paint the picture for those of you who aren't there yet, or who might be there, of what this looks like at a big, high level view. So the growth stage is exciting. Okay. It's super exciting because as the business goes and as it's generating, right, it's revenue, you've likely earned, right, your first 1,000, and you've created and launched your first product or your service. You're still, right, most likely the sole owner and operator of the business, but you might begin to start hiring, help. One of the biggest challenges is learning how to sell. Okay. So usually in that beginning stage, we're really focused on staying focused and knowledge cramming, right? That's usually the first part in building out those foundations. It is so important to shift our mindsets when we hit that next stage, because once your foundations are built out, that's the fun part, in my opinion, because even I tell Scott all the time, how exciting is it to have those foundations built out? So now we can just do the things, the basic things each day that need to be done. And we can focus on actually getting it out there to the world, right? Yeah. So you might have developed a great product or service, but if people don't, right, if in this stage you don't know how to effectively sell it and market it, you might struggle, right, to generate that revenue. This might require you to invest time and resources into learning about sales and marketing that work in your industry. Okay, so really focusing that shift on sales. Another challenge that you might face is navigating the feast or famine cycle. This refers to the tendency for revenue to fluctuate dramatically with periods of high revenue, followed by periods of low revenue. This can make it difficult to plan and manage cash flow. Okay, so if you are inconsistent with bringing in income, there are things that can be done right on the back end and foundationally to ensure, right, that you're generating consistent income.
So
Now,
if Nancy's going to go in a couple of minutes, but if everybody is resonating with this so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat, because something that Nancy and I are really skilled at doing is taking people through all these stages, but meeting people where they are in all these stages, so they can grow their business no matter where they are, whether they're at the beginner stage, the growth stage, the scale stage, no matter where you are. That's what Nancy and I are skilled at helping people do, because we've been at every single one of those stages. So people can relate to us because we've been there, we've done that, and we continue to move forward.
Yep, absolutely. So, in this stage, usually, just to give you a little snapshot, revenues usually between 1,000 to 3,000 or more, right? They could include coaching services, affiliate marketing, a course, group coaching. You might need to experiment with different revenue models to find out what's best for your business and achieve sustainable growth. Some people out there right now are actually doing like affiliate type, marketing, or having SaaS products. So for example, I think Go High Level, for example, is a big program that a lot of people are investing in, and they're offering it to their clients, and they're earning affiliate commission from that. That's a way to earn reoccurring revenue. So there's different ways that you can do that. And there's, obviously the sky's the limit on different things that you can test out to see what's best for you. Now, to overcome some of these challenges, you must continue to focus on learning and growth. This might involve investing in training and education, networking with other entrepreneurs, staying up to date with the latest trends and developments in your field, right? That's incredibly important. One of the biggest hurdles in the growth stage is getting over the resistance of selling effectively. You have got to push past the uncomfortable and be able to consistently sell to grow your business. This often requires a mindset shift from startup, which is knowledge cramming, to selling, which means actually sharing what it is that you do. Okay. So that is like huge part. And I think someone asked, does the program have anything on marketing and sales funnel? Absolutely. Right. Because what is something that is so important that every single business needs in order to scale? A sales funnel, right? Yep. And I really breaking it down in the most basic marketing assets. So growth stage, I'm going to have Scott take over here. So Scott, if you want to actually share your screen and take over, I was on slide
21.
Whoop. Yep. 21. You got it. All right. Well, I will jump off now. You guys have a great rest of day 4. And I will be back to return for day 5. But definitely today is, if I cannot stress this enough, today is about getting really clear on the macro, right? What you really want that dream business to look like. And you guys will have a nice little 1-page business plan out of this.
And isn't she amazing, guys? I mean, she is like the little engine that could, like, and like Nancy and I mean, we just celebrated our 6-year anniversary a couple of days ago. And like, again, it's very rare that a husband and wife do what we do together, but we both say that we both would not be anywhere where we are right now in our life and our business without each other. So just understand all of the skill sets that I possess, all the skill sets that Nancy possesses. You guys get the best of both worlds, in every program that we have. So Nancy, I just want to thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
You crush it. So again, she'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be going over the ways to stay consistent with everything that we've done this week, plus Q&A, but we still have some stuff to go through So if everybody is clear with where we are so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Because again, resistance is one of those things that really holds us back. And, getting uncomfortable is I would say, is one of the most impactful things you can do for your business. Because when something feels icky, I mean, how many of you can relate to this? How many of you, when you're about to do something different, right? Something new, even I would say those of you that are on here right now that like really feel that foundations is the best thing for you right now, but you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, oh my God, like I'm nervous, I'm scared, it's something new, it's an investment. Like, I get all that. It's that I so relate to that because we've made investments and we continue to make investments in our business, but be able to be able to continue to sell and grow your business, it's going to require you to do things outside of your comfort zone. So if you guys can agree with that statement, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So I know exactly how you guys feel. If you guys have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, is foundations for me? Is it going to work? Like, yeah, because on the other side of getting uncomfortable is everything all of you want in your business. You want growth. You want scalability. You want better connections. You want more visibility. You want all of those things. Staying in your comfort zone is only going to keep you where you don't want to be, right? So you do have to shift that mindset from startup to selling to really, excuse me, exactly what Jesse just wrote. You have to embrace getting uncomfortable. So if you're ready to embrace uncomfortable, just drop an I am in the comments below. If you're ready to embrace uncomfortable, type I am, because I can promise you, any successful business owner that you are connected to right now and you're seeing right now, I can guarantee you they're willing to get uncomfortable. So the other thing is, part of the growth stage is you may want to consider hiring additional help. So this could be a VA, this could be freelancer, part-time employees. This can help free up your time and energy for the entrepreneur to focus on strategic growth and development. Now, again, Nancy and I, we now have 7 or 8 team members now, but that's where we are right now. That's not where we've always been. Most of the people that we end up working with are in that solopreneur stage where it's just them and they're ready to end up scaling. That's what we teach all of you in Foundations. So we now have people that we've been working with for the last number of years that have team members just like us. But it was just myself and Nancy for a number of years. And then we realized, okay, the income is there for us to start outsourcing. Let's do that. So everything that we have and continue to do, we teach all of you how to do the same thing, right? How many of you are familiar with the principle of duplication, right? Just drop a Y or a yes if you're familiar with that terminology, because duplication is the key to success. So everything that we teach, everything that we do, no matter if it's our workshops or our courses or our programs or our mastermind, it's all about duplication. Nancy and I track everything that we do so we can then give it to other people so they can duplicate the same thing for themselves. So overall, the growth stage is critical. It's a critical phase in that journey that you're on because it lays the foundation for sustainable, long-term success. I want you to really hone in on that statement, long-term success. None of us, I mean, I think you can agree, type a Y or yes if you agree with this. None of us want to be a flash in the pan. We do not want to be a one-hit wonder. We don't. We want to have sustainable growth, sustainable scalability, right? We want to continue to move the needle forward each and every day by staying focused on learning, growing, planning. You can overcome every single challenge at any stage that you're in to achieve the goals for your business. Now, so some milestones, right? In the growth stage, earn your first 1K plus, sale, create and launch signature course, group, and hybrid. You must get over the resistance and learn how to sell effectively in your business. And anyone that is struggling with marketing funnels, sales funnels, email list growth, we teach all that. Here's the great thing about Expert Foundations. Any of you that are currently in there or are going to be joining us, there is nothing that is left off the table when it comes to growing your business with what we put in there. It has every single thing that you need. But here's the other thing. If there's something that is needed to be in there based on recommendations from the community, guess what? We do a training on it. So we're constantly updating it to make sure that it's meeting everyone's needs. So another milestone, earning a full-time income doing what you're doing, expanding revenue streams and selling products via evergreen funnels. And you're ready to hire contract help. These are some of those milestones. Now, scale stage. This is where everybody wants to get to. So we have startup, we have growth, and we have scaling. The scale stage is a critical phase in the entrepreneurial journey as the business begins to experience significant growth and expansion. This happened to Nancy and myself about 3 years ago, 2019 into 2020. Everything that we had been foundationally putting into place the few years before, it was like that. Have you ever, like, type a Y or a yes or an N or no? Have you ever heard of the hockey stick effect? Drop a Y or a yes or an N or a no if you have or have not. Okay. So the hockey stick effect, and again, for my Canadian friends, you'll definitely resonate with this more just because, I mean, I'm a sports fan, so I love the Flyers and hockey. But if you guys know what a hockey stick looks like, right? It's straight, and then it starts to curve, and then it goes straight up. So this is the scalable stage. So for the longest time, you're just kind of flatlining along, right? And then it gets to a certain point, it starts to curve up, and then boom, it skyrockets. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So you have startup phase, growth phase, scale. That's what we teach. We teach people that hockey stick effect. So you're no longer operating as a sole proprietor. You have team members. You may have a small team helping you. And one of the two biggest investments that Nancy and I made earlier this year, we hired a full-time operations manager and a full-time copywriter because we needed someone overseeing our business to show us what was working, what's not working, and so on and so on. And all of you can get there. But here's the cool thing. Anyone can get to where we are quicker because now you don't have to patchwork quilt it. That's part of why we've created everything that we've created. So everyone can plug in to everything that we've been doing over the last number of years. So you can get to that growth, right? That beginner stage, that growth phase, and that scalable stage much, much quicker. So at this stage, revenue is often in the range of $5,000 a month to $30,000 a month, and revenue streams may include membership sites, mastermind groups, speaking engagements, or agency work. Now, just drop a Y or a yes. I know it's a trick question. If you want to get to that scale stage in the next couple of years. Here's the thing. Every single one of you can. Every single one of you can. It's just going to take, and this is the thing, having the foundations in place. Nancy and I would not be where we are today if we did not have the foundations in place. And Nancy told you just 15 minutes ago that she's going to be going back to our own foundations course and make sure that she has everything in place for one of our agencies. Now, a challenge that many entrepreneurs face at the scale stage is balancing business expenses with the need to continue to growing the business. So the big thing is this: as revenue streams expand, so too, may expenses. And it can be challenging to manage cash flow effectively while continuing to invest in the growth of your business. To overcome these challenges, you as the business owner must continue to focus on streamlining and simplifying the business process. So this may involve outsourcing, automating, putting into place more systems, managing the day-to-day operations of that business. Because again, we can only do so much with the time that we have. The entrepreneur may also need to shift into more of a CEO like role. So delegating tasks, responsibilities, and focusing on high level strategy and growth. Nancy meets with our team every single Monday morning. She has a Monday morning meeting with all of our team members, going over the big focus for the week. They share anything that they need to share with her. We're in constant contact with our team, so we are running like a well-oiled machine. Now, if all this is making sense between, obviously the startup phase, growth stage, scale stage, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. And, the idea of today is to help you start envisioning and picturing that dream business, because it's possible. It's all possible for every single one of you. At that scale stage, the entrepreneur may also need to invest more heavily in marketing, advertising to really maintain that growth. And this may involve spending money on social media ads, paid search advertising, or other forms of promotion. You do not need to spend any money on marketing or advertising until you're at the scale stage. One of the big mistakes that people make is that they're given advice by people that are at the scale stage when someone's really at the beginner or growth stage to spend money on that. No, that is not where your monetary resources need to go. If everybody is clear on that, drop a Y or a yes. If you're at the beginner or growth stage, you do not need to spend any money on Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, all that stuff. You're not ready for that yet. I've heard so many horror stories where people have spent money they don't have on those things that don't produce results. You have to sustain the business's income before you start to outsource, including those paid advertisings. Overall, that scale stage represents a critical phase in the growth of the business, as you, the business owner, begins to shift from hands-on operator to a strategic leader. How good does that feel? How good would that feel to be going from that hands-on operator to that strategic leader, right? Having the foundations in place will allow you to go from operator to leader by staying focused on simplifying and streamlining processes. Again, this is something that Nancy and I preach all the time. Simplification and streamlining your processes, investing in sales and marketing, and maintaining the focus on your growth and your growth strategy. You, the business owner, can overcome the challenges of this stage and achieve long-term success. So drop a Y or a yes if you would love to achieve long-term success. And I think all of us want to do that. Now, so just a quick story. Nancy and I believe in something called the small and mighty business model. How many of you, just drop a Y or a yes or an N or a no if you are or not familiar with the small and mighty business model? So the small and mighty business model is a high profit business that has small team, which means high revenue, low overhead, high profit. So small team, large business, right? So you got really good revenue coming in, very low overhead, which obviously produces more monetary outcome. So Nancy and I had a goal of creating leveraged and residual based income each month. And we had a target goal. But we also only wanted to work 3 days a week. And we said this to you guys earlier. That was one of our big goals. We didn't want to work 5 days a week. In all honesty, I don't think anybody should be working on Fridays because no one's really thinking about work anyway. They're thinking about the weekend. And something that we help people do is start taking half days on Friday, or just start taking Fridays off. And here's the thing. It took us a while to get to that point, but we had a North Star. We knew, okay, we're going after this monthly goal and we want to do it in this many days, and we can do that. we're actually going to be writing a book on this, the small and mighty business model. It's going to be our first book that we're writing together, but that's what we want for all of you. How good would it feel, right? Type of feeling in the chat. How would it feel to be making 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 a month, only having to work 3 days a week? Type of feeling in the chat. How would that feel to achieve that? It would feel great. Yeah, amazing. Freeing. Awesome. Again, we would not be achieving all of those things that we are, not just the monthly monetary goals that I mentioned, but the 3 days a week, if we didn't have the foundations in place. Remember, what's the first part of a house that is always built? The foundation, right? You got to break the ground. You got to lay the foundation of that house so the walls can go up, so the windows can be installed, so the front door can be put on, so the roof can then be put on. You can't build a house without a proper foundation. Just like a business, you can't build a business without a proper foundation. Now, there's a difference between phase one and phase three, right? So the fact is that, phase one being the beginner stage and phase three beginning the scaling stage, it could take years. I mean, it does not happen overnight. And again, Melissa said that's what I need help with the foundation. And that's exactly what we do in Expert Foundations, because you're going to be an expert in the foundations of growing any business and making sure that all of the bottlenecks, all the holes and gaps are completely filled. We want you to build a rock solid business. If you have a solid foundation in place, it can provide exponential growth, clarity, confidence, and save years of spinning your tires. Type a Y or a yes if you guys feel you've been spinning your tires for way too long. Like literally, it feels like I'm in the same place now as I was last year and the year before and the year before and the year before and the year before. Yeah. Again, if you know you're spinning your tires, it's time to get unstuck. And again, having things in place are going to enable you to stop spinning your tires. So you have to get clear on your business goals, clarity around your vision, your mission, the products, the services that you provide. That is what's going to allow you to really, the hamster wheel. Yeah, could not have said it better myself, right? So an exercise that Nancy and I love taking you guys through is imagine you are 5 years from now, right? It's 5 years from now, and you are running your dream business and have a dream life. What does it look like? What does that look like? Just picture it just for a second. What does that dream life look like for you 5 years from now? How many days a week are you working? How many hours a day are you working, right? Like we said, Nancy and I work 3 days a week. We work 11 to 4. We work 5 hours a day, 3 days a week. We work 15 hours a week. There's some people that work 15 hours a day. That is not working smarter. That's actually working harder. And we want all of you to work smarter and not harder. What are you actually doing in your business now, 5 years later? How are you helping people? These are important. Vision casting is so powerful, right? What does success in your business mean to you? So drop in the comments, right? If you had to summarize success in one word in your business, what does success mean to you? Drop that in the chat. What does that success mean to you? Freedom. Freedom, time freedom, confidence and freedom, personal fulfillment, freedom. Yeah. These are the anchors that you need to hold on to. This is you got to hold on to this. A lot can change in a short amount of time. 5 years is not long. It's not. 5 years is not long. Like, to achieve that freedom in 5 years, I think anybody would sign up for that. Anybody would sign up for that. What's the number, right? What's that magic number? It doesn't have to be $1 million. Here's the other misconception. People think that they need to make $1 million a year to live the best life. Nancy and I know so many people that run $1 million businesses, but their profit margin sucks. Meaning they're only running at a 30% profit margin, which means that $1 million business is really only netting $300,000 a year before taxes. So what if it was the reverse? What if you were actually growing and had a $500,000 business that only had a 20% overhead, that was 80% profit? Now you're making $400,000 a year with less headaches. It could be $100,000 a year, right? It could be $250,000 a year, $500,000. Nancy and I sat down and we're like, man, people, like, what people need to realize, $1 million a year is $83,333 a month. $83,333 a month. Do we really need $83,000 a month? Wouldn't you guys agree? Type a Y or a yes. Wouldn't you agree that if we were all making $40,000 a month, we'd be living a pretty good life? Couldn't you agree with that? Yeah, we would be able to do so much with $40,000 a month. The thing is, what does your financial situation look like right now? How much money are you making each year and each month? And if that number, right? If that number is not what you want it to be, if it's not sitting with you because you know it can be more, again, there may be cracks in the foundation. And I think we all have to acknowledge that. Like, there are things that we need to improve. So you have to think about, like, what does it, like, you have to answer that question, right? What does my financial situation look like? How much money am I making each year and each month? More profit, more taxes, but not necessarily true. There are ways around. If you got a good accountant and you structure your business the right way, no matter how much money you make, we could talk about that. We could do a whole workshop. I have, like, the financial aspect of what we're doing on lockdown, because you learn from things in your business and how you make them work. So for anyone thinks that the more money you make, the more taxes, I don't say there's workarounds, but there are ways to streamline your business. So you're paying your taxes, but you're also earning the money that you want. It's okay to build a small and mighty business. You don't need to run a multi-million-dollar business to build the life of your dreams. You don't. How much do you want to make each year? You know, what amount would make any money stress? So type in the chat really quickly. If you just starting out, if you had to put your thumb on the amount of money per month starting off that would alleviate so many problems for you, how much per month? And let's be honest, right? $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, $5,000, $10,000, $10,000, $30,000, right? $15,000, $20,000. Again, we need to be honest with ourselves. And these are the things that you need to lock on to, right? These are again, these are freeing things, and acknowledging that, right? Get clear on your financial goals. How much money per month? List your products and services and how many you need to sell to make that. Nancy and I do this all the time. We break down all of our programs, all of our services, and the goal that we have that we want to make per month. And then we say, okay, here's what we need to sell of each of these throughout the year to equate to that monthly amount. So you have to break those goals down. And this has to be based on your conversion rates. How many warm leads do you need? How many sales calls do you need to set up? Right? So here's an example. If my goal was starting out, if you were doing coaching, and I want to make $5,000 a month, and my one-on-one coaching was $500, and Bonnie, we can help with the conversion rate, trust me. You would need to close 10 clients each month. Very easy math. So let's say your sales conversion was 20%. For every 5 sales calls, you should have a sale. So you can see you got to plug the numbers in. You want to make $5,000 a month. Your coaching is $500. You would need to close 10 clients each month. You need to set up at least 50 sales calls to hit your goal of 10 clients a month. This is about 3 calls per day. If everybody is clear on this equation, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. This is all numbers. It's all numbers. You have to break this down into micro measurements. So what does this mean for you now? The only way to change this is to improve your conversion rate. Get clients' results and raise your rates. This is what we always suggest people to do. Offer additional services, then adjust your numbers. So when I first started doing, just to kind of give you the roadmap, I mean, it's been almost 11 years. I started my LinkedIn consulting back in 2013. I was charging, I don't even know, I was charging packages of $250 for 5 sessions. It was like $50, which broke down to about $100 an hour. Now my coaching packages are $15,000 because I've gotten so many people, so many results, and making so much money from the consulting that I was doing for teams and for companies and organizations that it allowed me to raise my rates. But that was over an 11-year progression. For every one sale, multiply it by 10 for the number of warm and hot leads. So an example, the goal is to close 30 people. So the goal is to get at least 300 people registered or attending for a course or a program. So if you're doing a workshop, right, and you want to close 30 people, right? So if you want a 10% closing rate, you get 300 people into a workshop just like we're doing this week, which you guys can do. And you can then 10% of that would be 30 people. So one sale multiplying it for 10. So 30 people, you got to multiply that by 10. 10 times 30 is 300. So just drop a number 1 in the chat if that is clear. Just want to make sure you guys are clear on that. So again, you have to numerically break everything down. To achieve your goals, you need to be doing daily consistent action. You're either going to be trading time for money, or you're going to be growing your business. But the fact is, it takes consistent action and clear goals. You need business growth goals, growing your followers, growing your email list, right? How many followers and connections do you currently have right now? So how many emails do you currently have? You know, Jumpstart, I got 20 people on my email list. My small goal, I want to get to 100. My mid goal is I want to get at 500. And my big goal, within 3 years, I want to be at 7,500 emails. That's where a lot of the magic is happening, right? So go back where you mapped out your quarters, okay? Where we were breaking down what you're going to be doing promotion-wise. You were mapping out your schedule, right? Update as needed, right? With your specific goals, working towards your dream business, right? This is your roadmap for success. So Q3 2022, August, here's what I'm focusing on. Here's my sales and marketing strategy. Here's my operations. Here's my finance goals, all of those things. What you're going to be doing for today's accountability assignment is your one-page business plan, right? So everybody has a copy of this in their workbook, and you are going to be mapping out your dream business. So you want to have the vision of your business, the mission of your business, the product that you provide, right? Who am I targeting? So this is broken down into your business overview, your market analysis, service and products, and your big picture goals. So if everybody is clear on that, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure. Okay. So your accountability assignment for this session is to map out your dream business. That is your goal. Now, again, for everybody that feels they have a crack in the foundation of their business, and I think we were very, very clear. We were very open about that. Listen, I know for some of you, I know Joe jumped in. There were about 5 or 6 people that have already jumped into this. And there's reasons why. I think people are tired of, just as someone said it earlier, spinning their tires, right? We don't want to spin our tires anymore. We don't want to not achieve the success that we want. We all deserve it. So we really invite you, don't wait until next November when we open the doors again. Just imagine where you can be 6 short months from now by having all the foundations of your business in place. Whether you're in the startup phase, the growth phase, the scale phase, we can help you with all of that. So again, anyone that completes the program in the 6 months of access that you're given, you get a digital certificate of completion plus 6 months of free additional access. So a full year for only 6 months. Plus, you get a one-on-one strategy session with myself and Nancy. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. We really want to see you succeed, get all those foundations in place, and you have everything that you need at your fingertips. If you're struggling in any arena of your business, we can help you with that. Now, tomorrow is going to be a hybrid training / Q&A. So we're going to be going over the keys to being consistent in your business. Number one, and number two, we're also going to be doing some Q&A. So we're going to be sending out later on this afternoon a Q&A form that you can guys can all fill out if you want to pre-submit some questions. But also we're going to drop it in the Facebook group so you guys can fill it out there. If everybody is clear on that so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. And again, I just want to really reiterate to all of you, every single one of you deserves all the success in the world. We don't want you wasting time and wasting money on things that do not work. We can promise you that anyone that does step forward and jumps head first, feet first, arms first, hands first, whatever first into Expert Foundations, you are going to be feeling so good about your business because you're going to have everything right there in front of you that you need in order to succeed. So again, I'm going to drop the link one last time. Just remember, the doors are open until Sunday night at 9 p.m. Our kickoff call is at 2 p.m. EST, live and recorded on Monday the 13th. But also don't forget, something new that we're adding into this is we're going to meet with the Expert Foundations members once a month, going over the different module that you should be on to make sure that we're holding you accountable and achieving those goals. So if everybody is clear on that so far, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. We're trying to give as much value as we can in Expert Foundations. And if it requires us to meet with everyone once a month, we are happy to do so because we want people to succeed. All right. So the last 2 gift card winners are going to be announced now. And then tomorrow we're going to be announcing 2 winners that are going to win autographed copies of myself and Nancy's book. There's going to be a post pinned to the top of the group, as it always is. It's going to say day 4 homework thread. You are to build out your dream business, fill out that form, take a screenshot of it. You can either just type in the chat, I've built out my dream business, or you can just take a screenshot and you can drop it in there. So the once a month calls after the 13th, they're going to be on the first Monday of every month. So November is the only time it's going to be on the second Monday because the first Monday is already passed. So the kickoff call is Monday the 13th. And then when you do sign up, you get a welcome email that's going to have all the dates of the monthly calls as a group. So you can save it right to your calendar. We make it very, very easy. Saves right to your Google, your Yahoo, whatever kind of calendar you're using. It saves right to it. But we always meet the first Monday of the month from 2 to 2:30 p.m. EST, live and recorded. So again, the 2 homework winners from day 3 to Michelle Hart and Michelle Smith. Someone asked, should I finish the workshop before starting the course? No, I mean, again, you get access to the course right away. So when you do sign up, you get immediate access to the course. But we do encourage people to obviously still take part in the final day of the workshop. And again, one of those things that we really want people to understand and know is that you get immediate access, but you're going to be learning some of the key things that you're going to be doing with us in this workshop. So if you want more of us, you want all the things in the place that you need, obviously they are there for you. So I'm going to drop into the chat one last time that link. And again, there will be some time for questions on Friday as well. So look out for that form. And again, anyone that is really looking to take their business to the next level, we are ready for you. We want to help you. So everyone, we hope you enjoy day number 4. Look for the accountability assignment at the top of the Facebook group. And we will see you tomorrow, same time for the final day, training and Q&A. Love and gratitude.